Hey, welcome to the Blowout and Tampa 3 discussion. We've transitioned over now to full-time Christmas
Oh,
material.
heck yeah.
And the eggnog's going and the Christmas music's on. And the discussion today's topic Eric came up with is the good, the bad, and the insane. We're going to touch on holiday or Christmas specials that well, just say that maybe the point is Eric just wants to argue with me, and as usual, he's going to lose. So
Oh no. The thing is about nostalgia, it's a funny thing. You can be nostalgic for the worst stuff. And going back and looking back over, it is Christmas and it's time to revisit all the old things. And we like to think of, the Grinches and things like that. But there was some lunacy in some of the seven. Maybe it was a carryover from the drugs of the 60s. I don't know. But we're gonna be talking about some stuff that's near and dear to a lot of folks' hearts, but come on now. So we're going to do this in a similar fashion is that Jeff and I both kind of combed through memory and did a little bit of research to pull out some of the best selections. But let's start this out, Jeff. I've got an honorable mention. Um,
okay.
as always, we try to keep things focused on Gen X, period. But this one is outside altogether. It came out in 1996, I think. So we can't really lay claim to it. But
But we
the
do
honorable
anyway.
mention for a crazy but enjoyable holiday special was in season 6 of the X-Files. Oh my goodness. Season 6, episode 6, they had an episode called How the Ghosts Stole Christmas, and it was crazy. It now get this. Imagine a haunted house haunted by Ed Asner and Lily Tomlin.
Cheap tricks. We used to be so good at this.
We used to have years to drive them mad. Now we get one night.
This pop psychology approach is crap. All it does is annoy them. When's the last time we actually haunted anyone?
When was the last time we had a good double murder? Not since the house was condemned.
This is embarrassing. Amateur kid stuff.
Who were a couple that committed suicide like 100 years ago or something like that, and have ever since been haunting a house. And Mulder decides Christmas Eve is the day that he wants because is the day that he wants to catch these ghosts.
I
And
need to
he,
interrupt you. I need to
that,
interrupt you. I have a question for you.
yes.
How did I never see this one? I
And this is why I'm telling you because you need
okay.
to take a look. And I'm not going to spoil it for those of you who haven't seen, but I will tell you that it is equally sentimental, creepy, just well, the plot is, it's certainly not traditional Christmas time fare. Uh, but there are some scenes in there where you're just wondering what is going on here. They have twists, they have turns. The ghosts really play with Mulder and Scully in an attempt to get them to kill themselves. I mean, they're not nice ghosts. These are not ghosts who are
Traditional
trying to
Christmas.
make them you know, see the error of their ways. There's a scene in there where Ed Asner asks Lily Tomlin, or excuse me, Lily Tomlin confronts her husband and says, "Why did you have to pick Christmas? Why not Halloween?" And his response was, "No one's lonely and depressed in Halloween. This is when we can really get them." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you're right." It is just messed up. So it is again, if as a Gen Xer who likes to take everything, I would love to claim this, but this isn't ours. The millennials delivered
And
that
and
one, and it's
and,
it's
and
really good.
a quick Christmas tie over. Ed Asner is Santa in Elf
Oh,
with Will Ferrell.
right.
So that adds another layer of just creep to it.
So yeah, yep. So that's the honorable mention. Episode 6, season 6, How the Ghosts Stole Christmas. Okay. All right, so we're gonna kind of step away from that one, and we're gonna start, and we're gonna go into the good. Jeff, what you got for us?
The Good, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
If that did make this list, I was gonna be shocked.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so much memorable to that. The emptying the sewer system from the. I'm going to keep this PG. Emptying the RV's sewer tanks, septic tank. Um, the the sled with the nonstick spray that he blasted down the hill. Um, just the entire vacation series has always just been a trip with twists and turns that you didn't see coming. And overall, that's one that basically I have to watch every year.
And I don't watch that one as a matter of tradition, but I keep forgetting, isn't it that Julia Louis-Dreyfus in there as the neighbor's wife?
Yes, yes, she is.
And
I've
it's
forgotten that.
kind of hard, or not hard, but it's kind of jarring to see her as anything but Elaine a lot of the time, or Veep. I mean, so yeah, that one, classic stuff. And yeah, like I said, it didn't make it into last week's lists, which probably would have aggravated a number of folks. So it's good that we got to cover our basis and bring in um, vacation into this one. All right, cool. So I'm going to move to something bad now. And again, if you have fond memories of this, I apologize. I'm sure it's got some redeeming features if it's rooted in your subconscious from your childhood days. But A Cosmic Christmas. Um, I have almost no memory of this show. I was going through some lists and I saw it and I thought, what what is this kind of stirring in my brain? So I'm going to take you back to 1977. Star Wars is out. Close Encounters of a Third Kind is out. And I'm assuming what happened is somebody said, we need a Christmas special. And the kids, well, they must love space. So we're going to do this.
Hi, I'm Peter.
And A Cosmic Christmas tells the story of a young boy named Peter who has a pet goose, as one does, and they're running around, and aliens come down to the planet
As they
come to the
do.
planet for a very logical reason. Their scientists discovered, noticed 2,000 years ago that this really bright star in the heavens started glowing really bright, and so that obviously brought them to Earth 2,000 years later to figure out why this star was so bright. Now, luckily, old Peter, the young boy, is well versed in the Star of Bethlehem, and so he explains, "Oh, that's we're going to tell you about Christmas." And so he lives in a little town that nobody really is in the Christmas spirit. Everyone's mean, everyone's short-tempered, everyone's kind of selfish, and so he's having a hard time showing these three aliens, which look like actually every single nativity scene wise men trio that you've ever seen, and that was done on purpose. Um,
No, get
they're
away.
confused. Is this peace? Peter is showing them around, and everybody's being kind of mean and short-tempered with each other, and they don't understand. Is this peace? Is this compassion? Is this night? And so the aliens are not getting what Christmas is all about until the young punk antagonist of the story decides he's going to kidnap Lucy to eat him, and as he's running away, riding a bicycle very effectively in the snow, I might add. Crashes into through some into a frozen lake and is going to drown. And the aliens have this prime directive thing going on that they're not supposed to intervene, right? And the townspeople form a human chain to get the kids out because Peter also winds up in the drink trying to save him. And the aliens say, "Hey, perhaps this is what Christmas is about, helping." And sure enough, that's what it was about. So they helped the kid, and everyone's happy, and they're cool with these aliens, and they fly off, having learned that Christmas is about helping. So it's awful. The animation. I'm not going to make fun of the animation. It's what I would call proto Ed and Eddie animation. It's got that really kind of squiggly kind of appearance. That as I was doing some research, that's actually not this particular cartoon, but Ed and Eddie's animators use the cell animation, and they did it. They said as an homage to 50s to 70s animation style. So I was watching, and it's like this looks very familiar, and apparently that's why. Um, but it's just bad. It's ham-fisted and just these aliens not understanding what helping is, and if they thought about it, they probably would have thought, here's a race of people that need a single day to remind themselves to help drowning kids out of the. But I think that they would have probably decided to eradicate the planet. But there's the bad.
Okay, this is I'm almost thinking that they should have just brought back because I've never seen it. I have no idea what this is. But I'm almost thinking they should have brought back the black and white, and I can't remember the exact name of it. The when the Martians kidnapped Santa Claus.
Oh,
Um,
is that the one where Santa's on Mars? Um,
yeah, that's
yeah,
where they Martians when they kidnapped him. That's where
yep.
they took him. That's
Oh,
the
we
kind
gotta
of thing
find a
they do.
clip of that one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the title is something that's basically Santa Claus kidnapped by Mars or something like that. Or
Yeah, it's not really any subterfuge. There was no plot twist to that one.
but that would be enjoyable compared to this, I think. At least they're upfront about it. Okay, so
Fair
that's
enough.
my bad. Um,
Okay, let's jump over to my bad. Um, Gremlins.
as a really okay, go
It's a
go.
Christmas movie.
Eh,
It takes place at Christmas.
sure.
Everything's going on with Christmas. She talks about how her dad died in the
Yep.
chimney. The whole thing. It's one big Christmas thing. Now it's bad because of everything, but it's also bad because uh, even and I don't remember what year Gremlins came out. It was 80 something. So I was somewhere between. Yeah, I was a teenager of some sort. Um, it always bothered me. Yeah, do not expose them to bright light. Do not get them wet, and most importantly, never feed them after midnight. Um, every second of every day is after midnight at some point because there's been a midnight. So you can, when can you feed them? You can't feed them at 6 a.m. because 6 a.m. is after midnight. I,
I think they're
the,
very time zone specific. Perhaps this is
oh,
some kind of GPS thing going on.
it could be. It could be. Um, but yeah, no, that one just that it's gruesome. It's icky. Um, it it scared my nephew when I let him watch it too young. So yeah, no, that's my bad. I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than it's a really bad Christmas movie. But yeah,
Um, all right, cool. All right, now I'm going to move into full crazy mode here. But let's transition. Most of us, I think, uh, remember the old Bass and Rankin specials from the 70s. Bass and Rankin practically had cornered the market on Hollywood on
Who
holiday entertainment.
who who could forget Bass and Rankin? I do have one question.
Who's Bass and Rankin? So
That would be my question. Yeah.
Bass
I
and
don't know
Rankin,
anything.
that you know them, you just don't know them by that name.
Okay.
If you've seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stop motion
Uh,
special,
okay. Yeah.
you've
I'm.
seen
Yes.
um,
I'm.
the
No more. Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
That's
No.
them. They do all that. Now no, Bass and Rankin were like performers of some sort. I think one of them was a musician, and he did some like sound work, some soundtrack stuff and some Broadway stuff and all that. But they eventually came together in the 70s to create their own production company, and they made again Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty. You might remember some of the other. You might remember from such Christmas specials as um, the um, there's my Troy
I'm Troy
McClure.
McClure.
But there was Santa Claus is coming to town, where they explained the origin of Santa Claus. And here's a spoiler: he wasn't a Christian saint; he was an orphan, got left on the doorstep of some toy makers, and there was an evil wizard involved. So go check that one out. A lot of those are kind of embedded in part of the nostalgic. I don't watch Frosty anymore; he gets on my nerves.
Yeah,
But
the year without Santa.
what about that one?
The yeah, that's another one of theirs, isn't it?
Yeah, Year Without
Yeah.
Santa. Yep. Um, so
Which also had the what Heat Miser and
yeah, Snow
uh,
Miser. Yeah,
Snow Miser. Yeah.
yeah. So but it's almost like they were hard pressed to come up with new stuff all the time. You'll see if you go take a look at their stuff. They did some animated work too, um, traditional animation stuff, and they got a very distinct look to their animation. But it's like the Christmas factory couldn't churn out enough stuff, and they really got some bizarre things. One of theirs is the Leprechaun's Christmas Gold, which is the classic tale of an Irish sailor who gets stranded on an island of leprechauns, and he has to face down the traditional sea hag, as you
The
do
Christmas
during
he had, right?
Christmas.
Yeah.
And
Every Christmas.
here's the thing: is that the Christmas the symbology and stuff is pretty consistent. Let's see here. The protagonists and whatnot are doing their thing, fighting off your typical kind of Christmas demon spawn that is there to rip your soul out of your body, I guess. Um, yeah, the this isn't the most
Oh wow.
Christmassy story you're ever going to run across. As a matter of fact, I was looking at a lot of the comments on IMDb for this one, and people kept saying things like, why isn't this a St. Patrick's Day special? There's nothing Christmassy except they got to return the Christmas gold by Christmas. That's where it comes in. But that's not even the craziest one. The craziest one is Rudolph's Shiny New Year, 1976. This
Same foggy night.
Oh my goodness, this one is nuts. All right, you take Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and all of a sudden, you got the baby New Year because you got the old New Year or the old year who has to retire December 31st, and the baby with a hat, and they have Happy the baby with the big ears, and everyone's making fun of him. So the baby runs off and then gets kidnapped by Eon the vulture, who is a horrible creature, ugly vulture that wants to be immortal, and he figures if he kidnaps his baby New Year, he's going to stay. He's never going to die, and then. So Rudolph has to go rescue this baby, and to do that, he goes through the various years that have passed by. So he's basically time traveling. He gets on a whale with a clock in its tail, and he travels to all these different years, and he meets a knight in shining armor and a caveman, and all this kind of stuff, and they're trying to rescue this baby from the island of this evil vulture. Oh my god, it is a trip. If you, oh my gosh. So yeah, it is pure lunacy.
And it takes place the very night that Rudolph saves Christmas.
Oh, does
That
it?
same foggy night, they
Oh,
needed Rudolph to be able to see again. Santa, and I know that there's a lot of memes or tweets going around about this right now, but Santa, he knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good. He knew that Rudolph was being tormented and teased by the other reindeer. He knew that was going on. He did nothing to stop it.
uh,
I'm just saying,
he wanted to make him stronger.
builds
So
character.
that is by far, I think, the craziest Christmas special I could come across. I could come across. So yeah, if you haven't seen that one, I want to say enjoy it, but take it for what it is.
Experience it. Experience.
Experience it. Yeah. All right, Jeff, what you got? Wrap us up here.
Okay, all right. So this one is a little contentious. Some people have said it's not a Christmas movie. Everyone's in agreement about Gremlins, but this movie people say is not necessarily a Christmas movie. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I watch it every year. Nakatomi Towers, Die Hard.
Die Hard. All right, this
Yep,
is a good one because I am one of those who say it is not a Christmas movie.
right.
Right.
But
So let's
see, you're
get it on.
wrong. But yeah, all right, yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Is Daddy coming home soon? Well, we'll see what Santa and Mommy can do, okay?
A New York cop, John McClane, has come to see his wife.
I missed you.
Instead, he's going to have to save her.
I would like to add that, amongst its very Christmassy um, uh, atmosphere taking place at a Christmas party on Christmas Eve, uh, we have Christmas carols throughout it. In fact, Al, the officer that believes in Roy, and he's the one that believes that he's actually helping to bring down the terrorists. He was singing "Let It Snow," and I believe I read that I don't have it exactly right, but I prefer it my way. But basically, what he's singing is, "Don't nobody got no place to go, so let it snow, let it snow, let it snow." But yeah, no, it is a Christmas movie, and I'd argue with anybody that says it isn't. Now, I will say in your defense, I read somewhere that Bruce Willis went on record saying that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Having said that, another bit of trivia about this is that Bruce Willis was wrong.
Okay. So here's the thing. And this is the counter argument that I don't think anyone can put
Jane, you ignorant.
to. Die Hard is an excellent movie. Okay, absolutely. And a lot of the scenes on there, you totally get that Christmas kind of feeling or whatever. But here's the thing: to be a Christmas movie, in my humble opinion, there has to be a Christmas related change in the character. Something Christmassy has to happen before, or to change one of the characters to be either better than he or she was before, or the bad guy gets conversion, or something like that. Something has to change that is fundamental to Christmas. Well, no. So uh, Bruce Willis just kills people. The bad guys just die. Nobody in there through anything remotely Christmassy changes at all. So Christmas is a backdrop to the story and is not central to the plot or in
A
any way, even
Christmas
vaguely. Even the X-Files episode, I tell you, ends with some kind of Christmas resolution, related resolution. Go ahead,
Okay, so
play it.
very explicitly, a gift transforms one of the bad guys. Holly Gennaro has a Rolex that was a gift. At the end of the movie, Snape, I forget his name, is hanging off her arm, And Bruce unclasps the watch. Now, he has received the gift, and he gets transformed into Christmas pudding.
That that is the worst explanation for a Christmas movie I've ever heard. You
Side
know
note,
nothing.
trivia here on this. If you watch that scene, um, and what's the actor's name? I can't think of it. It's killing me.
Alan Rickman.
Yes,
Alan
yeah,
Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Yeah, yeah. He actually did the stunt. He fell down into to an airbag, and they have the camera on his face, and they said on three, we're gonna cut the loop. We're gonna cut you loose and let you drop. And so they said one click, and they dropped him. So that look of shock on his face is literal shock from not expecting the drop. So
I
yeah,
really hope they checked his cardiac history before doing that.
right.
You know.
But yeah.
Okay. Tell us, do you think that Die Hard's a Christmas movie, or
Yes, I do.
are you
Oh,
right
them.
with me? Yeah, Jeff, I don't want you commenting on our stuff here. What did we miss? What did you enjoy? What do you think is horrible? And horrible with a grain of salt. Any nostalgia could be good, and so let's keep it fun. But yeah, if you got some comments, please drop them in there. Like and subscribe. Again, just tell us what you think.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.